Hey everybody, this is Perch. Here's a pretty thoughtful mail. Let's get into it. It says, "Dearest Perch, aw, dearest Perch. I just finished watching your latest video. So how was your weekend? And it occurred to me that the key to understanding the culture war is the boring entertainment, as you said. Earlier today, I went to watch the 3D release of Jaws in the theater, not to be confused with Jaws 3D, the film. I was actively engaged in the simple yet dense story. I forgot how nice it was to see a story where all the people involved cared. To be blunt, it was not boring like most of the stuff the culture war tends to fight over. Let's be honest. The greatest sin of Last Jedi is that it is fucking boring film with a plot where the basic consequences can get summed up in two sentences. That is very true. So I did a review of The Last Jedi that irritated people, but it was basically like it is the O.J. Simpson car chase in space. That's it. Um, it may be an older reference, but nothing. That movie, nothing happened, and it does irk me. And this is just my thing, but maybe this helps you understand me a little bit more. And I get that a lot of people, a lot of the comments, it's incredibly clear no one's actually watching the video. When I did the Lord of the Rings thing, it's like, how come you never mentioned that the show producers attacked the fans right out the gate? I'm like, that was literally the point of a big portion of the video. Like that was talked about for minutes. Like, how did you miss that? Well, you missed it because you didn't watch it in the first place. I wish that YouTube statistics underneath the comments would actually show, like, how much of the video the person watched, because it would help a lot. Because people post and say dumbass stuff, and it's like, well, you didn't watch it. So if you didn't watch it, yeah, I guess you're confused. I get these people like, oh, Perch, I'm very confused by your take. Well, you didn't watch the video, so of course you're confused. So what did you think was going to happen? Anyway, that's be that as it may. But Last Jedi was terrible. It was terrible because it was boring. You could get into like, oh, they talked about, poverty and wealth and equity, and they had that little side quest to the casino planet. Like, yeah, that was stupid, but I mean, you weren't bored out of your mind by that point? I mean, come on. It was terrible. Anyway, it would still suck if, okay, the basic consequence can be summed up in two sentences. We're back to the mail. It would still suck if the cast was all white. Reva would still suck as a character if she was white. Boredom knows no so-called race. Race, gender, sexuality, and on it goes. I did another video in there. It's like, if you want to promote diversity, if you want to promote LGBTQ characters, etc., or, indigenous people or the stuff that Marvel Voices, does, please give them something to do. Like, they're heroes. In many cases, you look at these characters, they have the power to destroy cities. They can fly around, blow things up, go into space, travel between dimensions, etc. Why do you keep writing them eating food? Like, give them something to do. You'll be amazed how popular they can be. But they've got to have something to do. So many of these characters, they do nothing. You write them doing nothing, and you're like, I don't know why people don't like this. Because they're doing nothing. Anyway, I want to go a little, of course, for a moment, because this has been bothering me for a while. Back to the mail. The Last Jedi helped establish the fan are racist narrative, which I always thought was weird, because nobody complained about Lando or Mace Windu. Well, in fairness, they complained about Lando when they turned him, asexual in the Solo reboot. But yes, your point is taken. And I think they complained about Mace Windu because everybody was hoping that Sam Jackson at some point was going to go, we got to kill all these motherfucking Jedi, but you didn't get that scene in the movie, and you kind of were hoping for it. But anyway, yet people don't. Okay, blah blah blah. Yet people don't complain about the Mandalorian being played by a Latino dude, or Boba Fett and the clones by a Maori guy. Is it because racists can't see their faces? Well, maybe in some cases. Or is it because they're actually cool characters, barring Boba in his own show, that people are invested in? A little both, quite frankly. I think it's mostly the boring characters, sure. But, there are racists out there. There's clearly racists out there. Doesn't mean they're all racists. And yes, but just listen to the disclaimer. When a bunch of people, went all in with super racism or Lord of the Rings stuff, I was dismayed by the people who are like, those can't be real, they're all bots. Yes, I'm sure some of them were. But because it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure out when you look at the username and you click on it and there's like nobody there's like no videos on the channel, count just created. Yeah, probably a bot, probably. But there were others too. So look, you gotta, if you want to be honest and powerful with your opinion and go forward, you have to admit that yes, your side, whatever your side happens to be, has some bad actors. Definitely does. Everybody's side, left wing, right wing, woke, SJW, non SJW, Shriners, whatever you happen to be, you've got some dicks in your group. There's no denying it. Doesn't mean all of your group gets to be measured by those dicks, but if you deny that they exist, then people start suspecting that you're one of those dicks because they go, either this person is blind to what's going on or they defend it. The better thing to do is just say, yeah. I mean, most obvious statement in the world. Are there some bad actors? Yes. Sure there are. The majority? No. But yeah, there's dicks everywhere. Anyway, dicks everywhere. Anyway, I'm not going to complete that joke. All right, let's finish this mail. It says, all the debate over diversity and racism and stuff like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings is just people focusing on the trees of race while missing the forest of boring. Maybe let's not get wrapped up over stuff like race and focus on telling an engaging story that lingers in people's imaginations. I think that's good advice for all sides, everybody. As the person, people off writing these comics and these shows, focus on engaging story. You focus on engaging story. I'm saying it in a sinister way, even if you've got an agenda and a plot, to infest your social agenda. The best thing you can do is make it entertaining. People will miss your evil, sneaky agenda plot because it's so goddamn fun to watch. Anyway, to bring in comics for a moment, with all the discussion about woke this and woke that, few are talking about the actual story of Son of Kal-El other than the whole bisexual stuff. The story itself has no lasting impact in the minds of readers. We end there, and that's true. There's nothing going on. I mean, what's going on in that story? It should be kind of cool what's going on in that story, but it's not. I mean, again, you're right. Nobody's really talking about that. We've got the son of Superman fighting Bendix from Stormwatch, and who has a nation state making Superman. Like, that should be a pretty major, big-ass, cool arc. It should be. But, again, nobody's talking about that. Because who cares? Why bother? It doesn't matter. There's no point to it. It's not like the story doesn't matter. They have sold it entirely on John Kent is bisexual, and they're like having him come out. It's painful to me. It's like his dad is come back from space. He came out while his dad was in space. And so now there's no way to look at it without feeling like it's a completely cheap and callous marketing attempt to scrape a couple more dollars. It's like, ooh, what's going to happen when he comes out to his dad? I mean, what's going to happen? Superman's cool. Superman's going to be like, oh, good for you, son. I'm glad you are who you are. What do you think's going to happen? You think suddenly Superman is going to be like, we don't want no gays in my family? No. This is a dumb question. It's a dumb plot point, and the way DC has started selling it is gross. If you're gay, if you're bisexual, how do you like this? You like a comic company getting to make money off somebody coming out twice? Like, hey, we could double dip here. Get some more cash. Let's do a special issue where he comes out to his father. How will his father react? Superman, the most chill dude who loves everybody and tries to protect everyone. How will he react? I don't know. I can't figure that out. How will Superman possibly react to this news that his son is bisexual? Come on. I mean, I can only hope that somewhere in that text they get Superman like, son, I'm perfectly okay with it. You be who you are. Be your honest self. That's what you should be. In fact, I'll be honest with you. Every now and then, when Batman swings away, I just stare at that leather-clad ass, and I think, if it wasn't for your mom, put that in the comic, please. Watch the internet completely fucking lose its mind. I mean, why not? Let it all burn. Anyway, um, I don't know. It's like Batman and Tom Holland. That's what I like, son. Anyway, I take your point. Your point here, because we got off, I got off track. Is a simple one, and it's a good one. It's basically this: if the comic is not boring, it goes a long way. Just just try and write it entertaining. And most of the criticism, and by the way, I understand you get more hits. I mean, I've got a channel, I'm not an idiot. You get more hits and everything else if you talk about SJW stuff and woke stuff and all that kind of thing. But you know what hurts people the most? If you're a cruel person, if your goal is to just really cut deep, the thing that's going to hurt people the most is say, this comic's dull. I'm sorry, there's just nothing going on. It's a boring comic. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know, forgettable, boring. That's the harshest criticism you can give. And not that you should be out there trying to nail the harshest criticism possible, but if why go through all the theatrics of social agendas and woke and SJW and all the rest when the truth boring. I haven't watched Last Jedi a second time. My kids wanted to see all the Star Wars films. They got through the prequels and tapped out at The Last Jedi. They got to where the ships were chasing each other in slow motion and kind of running on fumes. And my kids just start, they're fidgeting. And then one of them goes and gets some Legos and starts building. And the other one just gets up and I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then just never comes back. That's tells you all you need. Anyway, thanks for the mail. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for listening.